Meeting is called to order. Let's have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we need a motion to approve the agenda. Changes or anything?
I will make a motion to approve the agenda.
And I'll second
All in favor? Aye. Okay, anybody here to become an alderman? No, so we can cross that off. Or interviews for mayor? No. Okay, so we need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of Monday, May 6th.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of Monday, May 6th.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve the minutes of May 6th. Is there a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Public input. I did go to Fair Board. Again, there's not too much changes. Just encouraging people to come. There will be the rodeo again, and they're adding a beanbag tournament, and hopefully a barbecue cookout. So they're going to try next year to get the tractor pulled back during the fair. It's all going to be if they can get the sleds back. If not, we might up the fair day, just have it on Sunday and have that covered. That's kind of my opinion.
I have had a lot of people really excited about the farmer's market.
Yes.
So a lot of people seem really, really excited. So I
Yeah.
think that'll be fun.
Yep. This thought just came to my mind, and it's something, it seems like, I remember moving to town too, and when you move to town from the country, you're not aware of all the rules of town. And to be honest with you, it took me several years to look what an ordinance even is. So as a thought, and I even bounced this off Dave, sometimes I wonder if we shouldn't have a little cheat sheet or a little card that when someone new comes to town and signs up, that we'd hit some high spots, like welcome to town, but these are some things you have to do, pay your water bill by a such date, keep your lawn mowed to so many inches, the snow out here, just simple things, not the whole, and then hand it to them, because I have noticed we've got a couple new people in town, lawns have not been mowed yet, just to help them become aware of this is a rule. Your pet needs to be kept in your yard. Just simple. We could maybe make an attractive little card or something.
Or even like a welcome packet for new people too that have local business information.
Yeah.
Too.
So it's just a thought I had, but maybe getting it out there.
And when they come in to sign up for utilities, there is a list of stuff like that we do go over with them.
Oh, there is.
And
Okay.
they get a copy of it.
Okay,
when
so
they
then
sign
maybe
up.
we.
I'll take a look at it. Maybe there's a few things that we could change or add, but
Yeah, I
there
was
is
Awesome.
a full page of things that we go over with them. Just, hey,
Just-
just so you know, kind of thing.
Just so you know, yeah. So, okay, good to know. Any other input?
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead, Gary.
I had talked to Dave before the meeting, asking how he breaks down or it's broken down in the budget for us. For instance, the hours that Lonnie works up at the golf course and where those funds are coming from, and it sounds like it's basically coming out of the street department fund, right, David? And I just thought it would probably be coming out of the clubhouses. Okay, one of the concerns I have is, and I asked him how many hours a week approximately, or on an average, does Lonnie spend up there at the clubhouse? And, you know, he jumps from one job to the next to the next. So how do you know how many hours are actually being spent out there? are too many hours being spent out there? I know the golf course looks beautiful, but there's other things that need to be done in town. Do we need more help? Then that's another wage we gotta add to the city budget, or what are we gonna do to get some of the things that needs to be done in town? Because you know, sooner or later, we're gonna have people in town screaming that we aren't getting something done with the streets.
I did call Lonnie on that issue, and there is a timeline for streets, and it's not happened yet.
Is
So
that,
that's,
is that also for the hot mix?
he said that's coming, but it's not yet. It's not this soon as summer.
I'm gonna call and get Kendra on the phone too.
Oh,
Well, but that's what I want the public to hear. That's why I wanted to bring it up, so they could actually hear why things aren't being done already, or
Right.
whatever the case might be, because something doesn't eventually get done. We're gonna be hearing it.
Can you hear us
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay, we're just finishing up public input, so I'll try to put you in the middle here. Okay.
well, it's something we might be have to look into the budget and see if we can afford another part-time person. Yeah, but it probably won't be this year. I'm sure it's gonna have to be next year, right? So, but it will, something to look at. I know he was extremely busy this last weekend, almost overwhelmed, because there was water tower issues. That had to be done, and sewer issues, something with ultraviolet. They switched from whatever they're on to ultraviolet, and that had issues. So he was swamped. So that's what went on last week. But something we'll have to talk about.
Yeah, and I guess, I don't know if you've heard any more, Dave, when are they gonna get back to the swimming pool? Do you have any clue?
I talked to him today, and the weather's slowing them up. It's, they're bouncing between here and other jobs that they have. When I talked to him this morning, his guy was supposed to be down this afternoon. If he was or not, I don't know, but he's still hoping to get it done in the next few weeks, but it's looking less and less likely, so I don't know.
Season's gonna get shorter and shorter.
Yeah, I talked to a couple lifeguards already, and they said, well, I don't know what your summer looks like, but I've had some people say they wish that the pool could stay open until Labor Day. Even if it was a couple hours a night, 2 nights a week, and on weekends. So that might be an option we have to look at. So I know sports starts entering in, and it gets complicated, but there might be enough around here that don't do sports that we can keep it open, so.
Okay, one other thing I do want to bring up before we move on is, I know we don't have money in the budget to do something with that old clubhouse, but, as we all know, Gary McKellis was told, he had said that he wanted to see that old place gone, so we're gonna look this next year on getting siding maybe for it, or something to make it more presentable, or would we want to entertain the option of seeing if anybody's interested in buying the building to move it?
Yeah, it'd have to be moved. But we
Yeah.
also need storage, so that's the next issue. So, yeah, I'd say we have to do something in this next year, but. Yeah, what would you rather do, sell it? What's your thoughts? Would you rather sell it and get it off there?
It's your call.
Well, if we aren't gonna use it as a city hall anytime down the line, or we're gonna stay here,
And they don't want another business in there. So it's either ours or to fix up and use for our own purposes or sell it. Those are two choices.
I mean, the least we gotta do is this next year is site it.
Thing to consider, if we sell it, we're gonna need another building for storage.
Storage, yes.
So that'd be a wash. There's nothing in there that's stored that would require a large roll-up door or anything. and it's got a bathroom that we can now use for the
Yeah.
course, so I think your better option is to make, you know,
Sign it.
site it, make sure it's secure, and leave it as, I mean, as long as it's not an eyesore, why not leave it as is?
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm leaning too. Might as well keep it, because otherwise we're gonna have to put something else for storage in anyway.
And I know it was discussed earlier, but you know, the other place where they have their chemicals out there along the highway? I would think down the line, if we're gonna put siding on, we ought to also put some kind of a fence around that, so when people drive up, because we're trying to
Oh,
make that golf course
the chemical stuff for the,
look nice, then, you know, to me, that doesn't look nice when you're driving up and you see this
no,
stuff.
just put like a, something.
Yeah, a fence around it, you know, something that people can't see, and something they can open up the gates and go in and do what they need to do.
Right, good, yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. It's not quite 6:15. We have to make a comment.
Here.
So I think we'll go ahead. An application for sale of alcoholic beverages, and it's to approve Waddy's LLC, Waddy's A-Bar Retail on-sale liquor license. So what do we have to do, just vote on it, or
It's
what?
just, you know, you have to ask if there's any public input, and if there isn't, vote to approve it.
Do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully you approve it.
Well, you bought an expensive building.
Yeah, and to our bar rate.
Question, technically, do we have to wait till 6:15 if someone was planning to come and speak on it? To vote?
Technically, yeah, you can't vote on it until 6:15, but
So we could discuss the next one, which will be to approve his A-Bar package off-sale liquor license. Is that basically the same thing?
Yeah, we'll have to wait till 6:15 on that too, because that'll be
Yeah,
part of it.
but I mean, that's not anything different, correct? What we used to do, right?
and you're thinking sometime early to mid-August?
Yeah, it's gonna be the second, yeah, now it's going to be after we start tearing apart, so. Get everything back together and,
Is there anything?
contractor's timeline.
Anything you can tell us about what to expect?
Pretty much gonna gut it and start over, so. It'll be a whole new bar, whole new flooring, new back bar. Divide where the lottery machines, where most of them are at on that, east wall, there'll be a little divider wall there, so that'll be a little more private with some machines in there and then some out in the bar area yet. Took stage out. That office on that end, we took just a corner out, didn't gain a whole lot of room there, but made the office smaller. It'll be a new place, it'll look good.
Any food at all offered, or?
Yeah, so small menu, starting out behind the bar. There's ovens called like Turbo Chef ovens, where you can do still a lot of appetizers. Some fried foods, basically it's like a quick oven or what, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not a bad option for not having a hood and full kitchen, so. That, pizza, take and bake pizzas for right now. We make our own at Waddy's, and I sell them in Sioux City and in Hayward, and so they go over quite well.
So you make them yourself?
Yeah, we make them at Waddy's and then freeze them, yeah.
Oh.
Turbo Chefs are amazing. When I worked at TJ's in Colton, we did our entire menu pretty much with the Turbo Chef.
Did you?
So hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, everything, so they're
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
And they can
there's a
cook
lot of
these in like
options.
3 minutes. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I've never really messed with them, so I'm just kind of learning what all we can do, but that's
Really
the
cool.
plan, and trying to keep labor down, and keep it kind of behind the bar where we're not running all over, so. But definitely some more options than what was there for food, for sure.
Oh,
Awesome.
Well, we should be able to move forward.
Yes. All right.
all right, so at this time, Kendra, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. At this time, we're going to need a motion to approve Waddy's LLC, Waddy's A Bar Retail on Sale liquor license. So is there a motion?
I'll make the motion
Carrie made a motion.
to approve Waddy's LLC, Waddy's A Bar Retail on Sale liquor license, right?
Yep. Carrie made a motion to approve it. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nay? So a motion was approved. We'll now go to approve Waddy's LLC, DBA Waddy's A-Bar package of off-sale liquor license. We will need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve Waddy's LLC doing business as Waddy's A-Bar package off-sale liquor license.
Julie,
I'll
Julie
second.
and Gary will second it. Any discussion from anybody? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Welcome to town.
Well, thank you.
So.
Okay, I'll have her send this over. Okay.
Thank you very
Yep,
much.
thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, at this time, we'll go to the sanitary sewer improvement project. And we do have Tanya here, so we'll have Tanya discuss it with us.
Okay, stand up here, just, sorry, wait a second, it looks like, all right, just one minute. So we have,
We'll move the phone down.
okay. Let me know if you can't hear. So before
I can
you.
hear you, thank you.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys remember, back in January, the city applied for funding for the sanitary sewer collection system improvements over on Offset Street and the alley between Union and Offset Street. And the DNR came back and they said that the original amount applied for had to be reduced so that the amount of grant that was awarded and then the total funding package would allow the rates to stay kind of what they thought in more appropriate levels. So the project was scaled back. We reduced the number of blocks to those blocks I mentioned before. And the city was awarded a loan and grant in March. And so now we're at the point where we've got an agreement to do the engineering services. So that would include the design of the improvements, the bidding and the construction, observation and administration, contractor review the work. So this project is a little bit different in the sense that we like to, before we do they call it the cured in place lining project, we like to see what the condition of the pipe is. And a lot of times cities will have televising video available, we can go back and look. And Alcester doesn't have that. So part of this project from the beginning has included cleaning and televising all the sewer lines in town so that we can get an idea of what the condition is. Make sure that those two lines, which are the oldest, so we think they're in the worst condition, but make sure, they are in the worst, and that's where the city should direct its money. And to gauge, what should the city be planning for the future for sewer improvements based on the condition of the sewer. So with this one, instead of just jumping right into design, we would get bidding documents together to do the cleaning and televising. Looking to probably get that out for bid, probably at the first meeting in July, and then get that bid by one of the meetings in August, get it approved, and get that work done hopefully yet this fall. That's the plan. Then once we got the televising information back in November, that's when we designed the system and make sure the project scope was going to stay over on those two streets. So that's what's a little bit different about this. Then with the design starting in around December, we would try to have plans and specs wrapped up sometime around March to April, and bid then, get the DNR review complete, bid the work, and have the lining work completed the summer of '25. So that's kind of the schedule of the plan. So in front of you tonight, we've got a short form agreement for engineering services. The front of it is a lot of contractual language. This is a document prepared by an organization that prepares documents for engineering firms. And so that's where it originates from. But there's a lot of information kind of about just the agreement, you know, how payments are made. So on the second page, towards the bottom, this is where we've got the payment laid out. And so we would do the engineering design and bidding services for both bid packages for a lump sum amount of $114,200. And then the construction admin, the staking and the construction observation, so when construction gets going, that would be at an hourly rate, and we're estimating that to be $91,400. And we've got that as an hourly rate because we never know what kind of contractor we're gonna get. If we get a good one, it goes smooth, and sometimes we can come in under that amount. If it goes bad, and we've got a contractor that we have to be in constant communication with, they're requiring a lot of babysitting to make sure they're following the plans and specs, we could go over. Now, we would talk to you before we went over. We will not go over without communicating with you first and letting the city know. But that's why it's laid out for that, like that. Then if you go on into the kind of end of the agreement, there's more legal language. There is a scope of services that describes the work to be performed as an attachment, exhibit A. And so that goes through the work that will be performed, and there is a schedule at the end of that, on page 11 of that goes through that schedule that I discussed. Those are kind of the highlights. I can answer questions or go through things in more detail if you have any specific questions, but I wanted to be cognizant of time.
So we got declined some. Did that have to do with this?
No, we got notified that because the state DANR approved the project fully as a loan, they denied the CDBG funding. So the project is fully funded as a loan with 50.1% loan forgiveness.
What's frustrating, and Harley and I's end on that, is we asked last fall, like, should we apply for CDBG in December? Or should we wait and apply in April? And we were told to wait and apply in April.
Yeah. And I did ask CCOG about that, you know, could we have done anything different? There was a lot of denial for CDBG because there was an increase in the number of projects and it was more competitive. They did say we could try and reapply this fall for CDBG. It will be tough because we did get approved for the loan, but they said it couldn't
Yes,
hurt
but-
to try. Most of the projects that they worked on were denied for the CDBG because there were so many projects that applied for funding this go round.
And I think that's because of that increased amount, so it was more viable to get some projects done. I do think too, if we do the televising and we find other areas that the city would want to add, and that would justify expanding the scope, and we would say the only way it can happen is if this CDBG grant could be an option. That's probably the best approach to go after it.
So right now, there would, other than this possible surcharge, budget-wise, things are kind of laid out. Am I understanding this right? Or we're gonna have to come up with some other kind of, to make all these projects work.
So it'll be fully funded through the loan, and then after she's done, you'll discuss the resolutions that,
Of what we'll have to, how we'll pay.
of how that will go about, yeah.
Okay.
And I know, we put in the engineering fees, the estimate at 16% during the facility plan. This amount is exactly what's in there. So this matches up, this isn't above what was in the original loan document, the original
Okay.
budget, so.
There's so many things, you can't
Yes.
keep track of them all. So. So at this time then, Kendra, do you have any questions?
Sorry, I can only hear what Jenny is saying, so I don't know what anybody else has said, but no, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
I guess, no matter what we move forward with, I want to make sure that the public understands what it might cost, and I know something has to be done, but boy, we're having a heck of a time getting people to pay their water bills now. If all of a sudden we raise it another $40, $50, $60 a month, are some of these people gonna pay their bills, especially if they're on the lower income level.
And with this project, if you approve, if you approve the engineering piece and then the next two steps with the resolutions, it would be a $10 increase per month.
You're talking about just this part or overall?
To cover the cost of this project would be a $10 surcharge addition to the current rate to fund this repayment of this bond.
Okay. Well, I just want the public to understand, so.
And we did have a public hearing on it back in March. And I know people
Nobody
don't
came.
come.
No, they don't
We try to
come.
inform them.
So, no, they have the opportunity to come, so. So at this time, then we just need to approve, is that correct? Any more discussion? Okay,
So I guess I want to clarify, we're just, right now, we're only approving for the engineering firm and then also for the scope, like the televising, the student stuff, or are we approving the whole project to begin?
Just the engineering fees. So we would bid the project and then bring those bids to the city for consideration. The cleaning and televising likely probably at the first meeting or the second meeting in August, one of those two. And then the bids would go out next spring for the actual lining of the selected blocks.
Okay.
so we need approval for A, B, and C, correct? Okay, so we need a motion to approve the agreement for professional services for Banner Associates for this project.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement for professional services from Banner Associates.
Okay, Julia has made the motion to approve the agreement. Is there a second?
I got a quick question. Can Kendra do that as long as she's on the phone or not? Or
Yes,
is it-
she can.
Okay. I didn't know if she be involved.
She probably can't hear it.
I just moved it over.
Oh. I can second it too, because I talked to Austin, so I'll second it. Okay, there's been a motion to approve agreement for professional services from Banner Associates. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Okay, now we'll go on to approval of resolution 202405, resolution amending the city's rate structure, providing a surcharge for the improvements to the sewer system for payment of a revenue borrower bond and a yearly review of the rate. So we need a motion for that.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
So, resolution amending the city's rate structure, providing for a surcharge for improvements to the sewer system for payment of a revenue borrower bond and yearly review of rate. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Alcester as follows. Surcharge for borrower bond. There shall be charged a monthly surcharge for the services provided by the improvement financed by a CW-03 Conservancy District loan. The surcharge for each loan shall be segregated from other revenues of the city and shall be used for the payment of the borrower bond CW-03, the borrower bond. Provided that such surcharge shall create net income remaining from time to time after first paying all reasonable and current expenses and maintenance, repairs, replacements, and operation sufficient to fund interest, reserve, and debt service fund annual requirements. Rates and collection. The city does hereby establish the special charge or surcharge payable by each customer of its system who receives or benefits from the services of the project financed with the borrowed bond. Such charge or surcharge shall be set at a level which, assuming a 10% delinquency rate, will produce income at the times and in amounts sufficient to pay when due the principal of and interest on the borrower bond and the administrative expense surcharge and all other payments as may be required under the loan agreement and borrower bond. The following clean water debt service surcharge shall be applicable to all customers served. Borrower bond CW-03 surcharge $10 per user per month commencing DANR left that blank. I asked CCOG their recommendation. Typically, communities start the surcharge at the first of the year when the project is commencing. So that's a question that if you want to start it with the project starting this summer, the payments will start 2 years after the project is completed.
So to start the charge, July, August, what did you say, probably?
Well, so we'll probably start, we'll get a small invoice from us probably in July. I'm guessing the lining contract, even though we'll bid it in August, won't do any work until the end of September, October, even in November. And so you probably won't get an invoice on that till late fall. And that would be,
October 1st? Okay, to start the surcharge October 1st, maybe.
The following clean water debt service surcharge shall be applicable to all customers served. $10 per user per month commencing October 1st, 2024. This surcharge shall remain in effect until such time as the revenue bond is paid in full. The initial surcharge shall be collected at the same time as other charges of the system. The surcharge is found to be equitable for the services provided by the improvements. The debt service surcharge shall be segregated from other income of the system in a separate bookkeeping account and is pledged to the South Dakota Conservancy District for the payment of the loan payments on the borrower bond. The amount of the surcharge shall be reviewed from year to year and may be modified in order to provide such funds as are set forth herein. The charges shall be reviewed yearly by city and administratively adjusted upwards or downwards to such amounts as may be necessary to pay principal, interest, and administrative surcharge and other charges as may become due and owing under the loan agreement or borrower bond. The surcharges shall be included in the monthly user bill. Nothing contained herein requires the surcharge be indicated on the billing. However, the surcharge segregation shall be indicated on the books of the city. The surcharge for the borrower bond shall be automatically repealed when the borrow bond is paid in full. If any one or more of the provisions of the shall be held invalid, illegal, or unenforceable in any respect by final decree of any court or lawful jurisdiction, such invalidity, illegality, or unenforceability shall not affect any other provision hereof.
So with the motion, could it just state what's here, but say the surcharge of $10 will start October 1st? Would that be a okay motion? Okay. All right. Kendra, did you hear some of that?
Yeah, I think I got most of it. $10 starting October of this year.
Yes. Okay, so we need a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-05, resolution amending the city's rate structure, providing for a surcharge for improvements to the sewer system for payment of a revenue borrower bond and yearly review of rate beginning on October 1st, 2024 of $10.
I'll second it.
Okay, Julia made a motion, Kendra seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, now we need, C is to approve resolution 2024-06, giving approval to certain sewer facility improvements. Giving approval to issue and the sale of revenue bond to finance directly or indirectly the improvements to the facility. Approving the form of the loan agreement and revenue bond and pledging project revenues and collateral to secure the payment of the revenue bond. And creating special funds and accounts for the administration of funds for operation of the system and retirement of the revenue bond, and providing for a segregated special charge or surcharge for payment of the bonds.
I'll hit the highlights on this one because it's 8 pages long.
Oh,
Basically, this one lays out how the city will do and go through and the bond procedure. It defines the different terms. It defines declaration of necessity and findings. The city hereby determines and declares it is necessary to construct and finance improvements to its system described as the project. The authorization of loan, pledge of revenue, and security. City hereby determines and declares it necessary to finance up to $1,530,000 of the costs of the project through the issuance of bonds payable from the revenue of the project and other funds secured by the city. It discusses the approval of the loan agreement, the approval of the revenue bond, the pledge of the revenues, saying how we're going to pay that back. The special charge or surcharge, it itemizes out the in more detail about the surcharge and the rate collection. Project fund accounts, it basically tells me how I need to handle the accounting of these funds for the revenue bond. Approval of paying agent, the revenue bond shall be payable at the office of the U.S. Bank National Association Minneapolis. Approval of bond counsel, Meyer Henry Sargent LLP. Tax matters, discusses all the tax revenue codes. The covenants, city hereby covenants and agrees with the district and other owners of the revenue bond. Basically, we're saying that we will pay it back. Discusses the depository of where and how the money will be deposited and accounted for. And then discusses how at the end of it, when it's paid for, it will be automatically. And then lastly, the authorization of city officials, the mayor, finance officer, city attorney, and city officials shall be, and they are hereby authorized to execute and deliver for and on behalf of the city any and all other certificates, documents, or other papers, and to perform such other acts as they may deem necessary. So
this loan, if I'm understanding this right then, it's paying for the present sewer project plus this additional one, is that right?
no,
No,
this bond will pay for the sewer improvement
That-
project of the underground
Okay,
sewer
this is
collection
what-
system.
okay, this is separate.
It's completely separate from the other bond that was taken out for the sewer treatment plant.
Okay,
Separate bonds.
okay. That's where I was a little confused, so, okay. Okay, so do we have a motion to approve resolution 202406? It's kind of complicated. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-06. Resolution giving approval to certain sewer facility improvements, giving approval to the issue and sale of revenue bond to finance directly or indirectly the improvements to the facilities, approving the form of the loan agreement and the revenue bond, and pledging project revenues and collateral to secure the payment of the revenue bond, and creating a special funds and accounts for the administration funds for the operations of the system and retirement of the revenue bond, and providing for a segregated special charge or surcharge for payment of the bonds.
I'll second.
Okay. So we've had a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of the resolution has passed. So, anything else?
Not on that, I guess, do you want to send me a signed copy of the agreement, or is it easier just to do it now?
Yeah,
Just a quick sign it? Yeah, that's fine. Can we go to the next part to approve the application? I need to sign that first. Okay. Okay, while they finish the signing, we'll go on to item 10. We just need approval to pay application 13 to Industrial Process Technology for the work completed through 5/20 in the amount of $452,298.38.
I'll make the motion to approve the pay application 13 to Industrial Process Technology for work completed through 5/20/24 in the amount of $452,298.38.
Okay, there's been a motion to pay that application. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Julie, was that you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried to pay that application number 13. The next one is to approve change order number 8 as proposed by Banner Associates for replacing buried pipe, needing replacement and extending the sidewalk. I think we've talked about that. Have we talked
I
about
don't
that?
think so, because I just.
You
saw-
mentioned last time that it was gonna be coming,
That
but
was it,
not the
yeah.
entire scope.
So you want- Go ahead.
I will, and you, for the ease of hearing everybody, I'm gonna just bring a
Oh,
chair up
that's
here, is
fine.
that okay?
Yep.
There's that there.
There we go, I'm right by, so everybody can hear good. Okay, so there's two things on this change order. The first one is influent piping repairs. So when we had tie-in locations where they were doing some piping modifications so that we could bypass around the existing aeration basin that we had to make during construction. And so they went in to put that piping in, and when they uncovered the pipe that was there was old ductile iron that had not been wrapped in plastic like they usually do. And so due to the soils that were there being corrosive, that pipe corroded quite a bit. They couldn't reuse it, they couldn't attach to it, they couldn't get the holes apart to get it apart. And so what they ended up doing is having to replace it. And they even had to replace into the building, so the line goes into the building through the concrete wall. And they even had to cut into that because that was so deteriorated they couldn't grab onto it anywhere. And so the changes for the input piping and fittings in that area that were in such poor condition result in a change order cost of $9,630.78. And for what was repaired, that doesn't seem that excessive, especially this, it's a tight confined space there and it's hard to work in. And so that was a reasonable price. So we recommend approval of that. The second item on there, the final clarifier, is disinfection building sidewalk. And so there is an attached RFP 21 if you want to look at the area where this is being proposed. And so there is, the disinfection building's been put in, and the disinfection system, by the way, it is operating better. The UV intensity has been staying up, so I really think it was an issue with the chlorine going over it last week. So I think.
Oh, is that where they were
I-
having some trouble?
I think that's why it's gonna be better. The chlorine's off now and that's working and it's holding, so we're hopeful. But this is that area, so what's shown in the royal blue color, that's where we'd added sidewalk or poured into a kind of a stoop right outside the clarifier building. And staff came back and they said, you know, it'd be really nice if we could connect those two sidewalks now that that area's kind of been brought up. And I agree, it would be really nice for them, especially in the wintertime, to be able to have a hard sidewalk they can shovel and walk on.
Right.
The challenge with this is it's not the sidewalk that's as expensive, but it's the railing, because by code with that retaining wall in there and the drop-off height, code requires that there be a railing there if there's a sidewalk there. And right now, with the just escalating cost of buildings, aluminum railing is so ridiculously expensive. So the change order to add this bit of sidewalk and the aluminum railing is $19,485.90. So it's high. I know it would be a great asset for staff to have it. It would improve safety, and you don't have to go through the hassle of going out and getting bids and finding somebody else to do it after the project's done. And so I'll leave it up to city discussion. I was going to make a quick separate out what the cost is. Yeah, on the very last page, this is the very back. Yep, you've got the right page. The page, so if you flip it over and go to the last page of this change order.
Oh,
There is a change request from West Branch, which is the sub for ICT. So this isn't the total cost, this is just their breakout showing their costs. And so the 35 feet and 4-inch side, or 4-foot sidewalk, is around, total price, equipment and installation is $7,620. And it's a tight space, like it's a pain to get a concrete truck back there, it is not for me. So that doesn't seem that crazy. The 24 feet of aluminum rail, the material cost is $7,700, so labor is only 13, and so that's where the $9,000 price is. So that's what's expensive, but it would be a great asset to staff to have it this winter. Is there anything else that Lonnie?
Did the insurance guy ask any questions? I don't know, what do you guys think? Kendra, what are your thoughts?
On the sidewalk,
Yeah,
I mean, it would probably be nice, just because right now, if I understand correctly, it's just dirt, so in the winter, it's just gonna be mud or ice.
right.
And if you have to walk from building to building, I mean, for like a liability standpoint, it'd probably be nice to have the sidewalk there, because if somebody slips and falls, that's a lot higher cost.
Yeah, then 17,000, yeah. Is it?
I don't know, do we have to have the railing and everything on there? I'm not sure the location, I'm sorry, I'm driving, so I can't see a map or anything, but
No.
is that like a requirement for it, or?
It is in that, we don't have it the whole way, we just have it along the retaining wall, and it's because there's a drop greater than, I think it's 30 inches, is I think what code is. So there's a drop greater than 30 inches to the ground from the edge of that sidewalk, and so because of that, they require a railing there for fall protection.
Gotcha, okay, yeah, sorry, I like I said, I don't have it in front of me.
No worries.
I guess, I don't have any questions about it,
I don't know, I just think in the long run, we probably end up having to do it anyway down the road. We might as well do it now while we're in the mess. I don't know. What you
sorry, I
guys-
didn't hear it, what you said, if you said something.
I just said, now it should probably be the time. If we do it later, it's probably end up costing us more anyway. And then
Yeah. And
safety,
you're saying it's
safety
wrapped
is,
into the cost of the project that we're doing, it's just a price increase, correct?
right.
And the
So-
total is 9,000, and that's everything for that sidewalk?
No,
And ramp?
that's 17,000.
Actually, with the contractor's markup, so that's the subs price. The price for the inflow piping repairs was $9,630.78. The price for the sidewalk and the railing is $19,485.90. So the combined cost of the change order is $29,116.68.
And how long is the sidewalk?
24 feet, thank you. Did you hear that, 24 feet?
24 feet?
Yep.
It's 24 feet of handrail, it's 35 feet of sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, 24 feet of aluminum handrail and 35 feet of 4-foot wide sidewalk. And part of the challenge is you've got to bring a pumper truck in there to get it in because you can't drive a concrete truck back there. So that's why the concrete cost is a little higher than normal.
This is here or there, but are all sidewalks 4 feet wide now? This is a really wide sidewalk.
It's pretty standard for
Is
sidewalk.
it?
Commercial.
Yeah, I suppose I'm thinking residential more than commercial.
So what was the total amount? 29,000?
$29,116.68.
Gary, got anything to say about it?
As well as do it. Scheme of things, it's not a lot compared to everything else.
Something happened. you can pay a lot more. If there's no more discussion, is there a motion to approve the change order, number 8?
I will make a motion to approve change order number 8 as proposed by Banner Associates for replacing buried pipe being replaced and extending sidewalk in the total amount of $29,116.88.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, there has been a motion and a second to approve change order number 8 as proposed by Banner Associates for replacing buried pipe, needing replacement and extending sidewalk at the cost of $29,116.68.
Or
Not-
58. Did I say 58? I said it right, sorry.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried.
Sorry, I said it right, and I wrote it wrong apparently.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Anything else we need to know, Tom?
Yes, I've got, well, not for this.
Oh,
For the
okay.
water one coming up, yes.
Oh, okay, there's another water one, okay. So we'll move on to number 11. Approved delay of utility bill due date for June of 2024 until the 25th.
So the last week or so, it was kind of a perfect storm with vacations, a lot of work going on around the city. Bills did not go out until yesterday. So people are gonna get them about 5 days later than typical. So we would like to ask the council to approve extending that due date out until, giving the city, the citizens, an extra 10 days to get that taken care of. Because it was a struggle for the crew to get those out this last week.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve the delay of the utility bill date for June of 2024 until June 25th?
Now, we just talking for this month or every month?
Right now for just this month. To do it for permanent, that will require an ordinance, which I do want to bring up eventually. I just need to get it all put together. I would like to eventually move that due date to the 20th permanently. But I need to work with the attorneys and everything just to get the whole amendment for the ordinance.
Austin
drafted.
was coming, but he got delayed, he got called into court at 4:30, one late case, so that's where he is too. So I'll make a motion to approve the delay of the utility bill due date for June of 2024 until June 25th.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, Tanya, Banner Associates proposal of amendment October 2008 water facility.
Thank you. By the way, I've got the agenda on my phone, so that's why I keep
Oh, okay.
peeking at. So what I want to go through is, after the tower issues that came up in the inspection that was done, that's where we came last month and we talked about doing a facility plan to look at the water system as a whole, both the aging pipe and the small 4-inch mains and the tower. And so the tower was not in the last facility plan. And so what we would do is a facility plan amendment. And so it would be a report that would summarize the needs, put costs or associate costs with the recommended improvements, and prioritize those costs. And so we would do a kickoff meeting with the city, going kind of through what we were going to look at, gathering information on the system that we don't have, looking at the mapping we have and what's inaccurate, what needs to be updated. And then we would do a follow-up meeting after we looked at everything with the city, laying out the recommendations, making sure, that was something that staff agreed with, and council members would be welcome to attend that meeting. And then you would get a report at the end. What this would allow you to do is there are a couple things. So if you wanted to apply for funding to get loan money for some of those tower improvements and spread it out so it's not so much at once, and possibly get some grant money, you would get yourself on the state water plan by submitting that report to Danner with an application October 1. That would get you on the state water plan in December and allow you to apply for loan funding January 1, which would get you in the first meeting of the year for the Board of Water and Natural Resources and put you in the best position to get a grant. You always want to apply for those funds January 1. And so that from there you can see what funding package you got if you wanted to move forward with any of the improvements. So kind of with that schedule and that timeline, the cost to update that facility plan amendment, or to prepare that facility plan amendment is $14,500. And so that's the cost of the study that's going to do tonight. The other thing I do like about this is, a long time ago when we were doing the collection system improvements, we talked with the city about, are there any water improvements needed? Because Danner will pay for half a street with water and half a street with sewer. So if you need to do water and sewer, you can have the street cost be part of the loan because you have to take the street out to put the piping in. And so if there's any reason that any of the areas we're looking at for sewer need water main, that's where we might rescope that project based on the televising and the findings of this, so that the city is kind of targeting the, improvements for the lining where it makes the most sense, where they can't do street improvements where water main also has to be done. Alleys, that makes sense to line. There's no paving in there. That makes sense.
No, we don't have any street.
Right, but where you've got sewer and streets, that's where really it should be looked at as a whole. So that's why I really also, because of the tower stuff, to me it makes sense to wrap this in and look at that possibly getting funded, but because of the sewer improvements being prioritized for phase this fall, it's great timing with this too, because then you know where you should be doing both of them at the same time, or where not to.
So would there be money budget-wise to cover this, you think? Where are we sitting with the water? Or we don't know, really?
There would still be enough to cover this in the water reserve,
Okay,
because we didn't use the entire amount for the meter upgrade project. And we still have the remainder of this year for the water surcharge. But there'd be enough for this.
do you hear that, Kendra?
I'm sorry, I did not.
Okay. There probably would be enough money in the budget, it'd be close, to do this project Tanya was just talking about this year. Did you hear what she said at all?
Yeah, I did hear what she said.
Okay,
So is it using the money from the surcharge that we've been collecting for the water anyway?
yeah. To go ahead with it, because they kind of would go together this fall.
Okay.
What do you guys think? We have one problem. So do you want to go ahead with amendment for the 2008? I mean, we really don't, we're gonna have to do it eventually anyway, especially the water tower, right?
If we want to get funding for the remainder of the repairs for the water tower, we would have to have the engineering work done anyway.
Yeah.
This just broadens that to not just the tower,
But it
but
would-
also the city water mains.
Yeah,
So if there's critical issues with the water mains that we aren't currently aware of, and they coincide with sewer lines, it just so happens that that money would pay to replace the streets in that section too.
yeah.
So,
Double-
I mean, we
that's
hope
better.
that there's not sections that are that bad,
But
but if
they
it
could
would
be.
turn out, it,
That part down.
yeah, we would know about it before it becomes a critical issue.
Well, I'll make a motion for Banner Associates' proposal for amendment to October 2008 water facility plan.
I'll second it.
There has been a motion and a second to go ahead with the amendment with Banner Associates. So all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
And I think that's everything that I have.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys, thank you very much.
We're just kind of a chronic issue down here.
Yeah. It's a common thing among smaller towns.
Is that,
Yeah.
we're not the only
No.
efficiency?
No.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next one, Banyan modules, meter device, and interface and meter swap out manuals.
I can discuss that with you guys. So in conversations with Banyan and Badger with the meter upgrade project, learning that it's going to be very labor and time intensive with swapping out from the way we've done it before to the new system of inputting all the data. It's high risk for error. It's going to add a lot of time and effort and work to it. Both companies have highly recommended having the interface. It takes the human error and it takes the time out of the project. I got the proposal from Banyan so the first one would be the meter device interface and the support for those. What that would be is for our utility billing software and Badger's system to talk and everything to flow from the meters directly into the system. And so it would eliminate any of the hand entering of meter readings from their system to ours. The second piece of that would be the swap out import module, and that would be as we change out from whatever, the meters that they have now in the home to the new meters, it would import all of that data automatically.
And that was how much?
The first module, the interface module, is $1,295, and then the device support fee is $295. So the interface portion was $1,590.
Okay.
And then the module for the importing of the data is $595.
Did you hear that, Kendra, at all?
And my ask would be that we would, if the council would consider it, that we use funds from the sale at the bar to cover the costs.
You said for the first one, it's how much?
For the interface module, the total amount is $1,590. And then the import module is $595.
Well, I'll make a motion to, let's see, can we do them both at the same time? Yeah. To purchase the meter device interface and the meter swap out module. That covers them both, correct? At the cost of, the first one is $1,590, the second one $595, and to use the sale of the bar money to pay for this.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Now, along with this, are we looking at hiring somebody to go ahead and do this, to start
Putting them on.
putting them on?
The meters. We had reached out to 3 different plumbing companies for the meter install. Turner Plumbing down in Vermillion was the cheapest at $50 per meter. We have not reached back out to them because Badger wanted to hold off us starting the install until we discussed this piece here, because once this would get set up, then that they can go sometime between now and then they can install 10 meters, and then they send a test file and make sure that everything interfaces and make sure that that's all done correctly before they would start installing the other 90.
Well, this is all in the transfer progress, how is this gonna affect getting it all out? I mean, I guess if we need to go through whatever we do, but, I mean, as far as, the labor intensity, as far as, because you're kind of in the middle
Right now-
of changing things,
Right now, I mean, nothing else will change with the remainder of town. It will just be, initially those 10 meters will be automatic and these modules will, there's gonna be some, initial training and stuff like that, but once the system is set up, the two will interface and those 10 meters will automatically come across. And as we go and get more meters installed, it will be fewer and fewer meters for us to manually read and enter.
Okay. Sounds good.
Kendra had to drop off, but she is available if we have any other big issues come up or anything.
Okay. All right, then any other questions there? We're going on to Banyan e-bill notification online payment.
So the other thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys was, the reason I'm asking you to consider the e-bill notification and online payments module from Banyan is, starting in July, the cost of postage is going up for the second time this year. And it costs us about $200, I don't remember the exact cost, but it's about $270 a month to send out our postcards. And that's gonna go up, and we're gonna end up spending more and more as the postage goes up. This would allow us to have the citizens sign up to receive their bills electronically, so it would cut down on our postage, it would cut down on the time of printing them, stamping them, taking them to the post office, and then it would also give the citizens more options to pay it electronically, which is what people have been asking for. There's a multitude of different options for them to pay it.
The cost was $10 a month
What's
to
that?
do this? It wasn't.
So for the, Banyan they have two options. They have two different companies they partner with this e-bill notification. Nuvei is the one that gave the best numbers. Actually, Nuvei and PSN are the two companies that they partner with for this. PSN never got their proposal back to me, but in your packet is the one that came from Nuvei. And if you look on, I think it's page 6, it talks about pricing and terms. In the middle, it talks about payment and fees. So for the citizen to pay their bill with a credit or debit card, it's 3.5%, which is equivalent to what it's costing them with PayGov right now. This would also allow them the access to an ACH payment using their bank account, which is something that people have been asking about. That would cost $1.99 per transaction, and that cost would go to the customer. The fees to the city is right below that. It's typically 20 cents per e-bill for us to send an e-bill. They have waived that fee. A pay-by-phone payment is typically 50 cents per transaction. They've waived that as well. If a payment would get returned, if they would have an NSF check or something like that, there is a $7 charge to that. And then there's a $9.95 PCI compliance. PCI basically is a federal guidelines for security when using debit and credit cards and bank accounts over the internet. That's something every company has to pay for. There's typically also a $5,000 implementation fee, and they have waived that as well. And the monthly portal fee is typically $250 per month, and they have waived that fee as well. So to use the Nuvei system, it would cost us $9.95 per month. Banyan, if you sign on with Nuvei, they waive their fee for their module. So to do this would cost us $10 a month.
And everybody would not have to do it.
It would be elective. They would not have to sign up for an e-bill, they would not have to do the online payments, but it would give those that wanted it the option. Because since I started last fall,
A lot of people do want.
a lot of people have asked about it.
A gentleman came in yesterday when I was sitting here with the election. He was mad because he trucks and he's out of town and he's not here to pay his bill, and he was ticked that he gets charged the $5 when he's out of town. He said he had to stay in town to pay his water bill. Well, if you had something like this, there wouldn't be an excuse. He can't get mad at us, and he has the option to pay it. So,
Considering everything that's gonna be waived and what it would cost to do it, I think it'd be stupid not to.
yeah.
Will this
Yeah.
cover reoccurring billing too, so can people sign up for automatic billing?
That's a whole separate billing.
Oh.
That's a whole nother module.
Okay,
That's,
progress is progress.
yeah.
Yeah, little by little.
I left that off because that's, I mean, then you're talking about $700.
So if people
Start
put
off
automatic pay it out of their checking account, they'd be charged $1.
$1.99.
Yeah.
They're paying that anytime they use their debit or credit card to pay our bill right now anyway.
Right.
So for now, they'll still have to log on every month to do it, but I mean, it's still a lot better than
They
the
have that
alternative.
option.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would they just let you know they're doing this, and then we'd know right off the top so you don't send them a water bill?
I will learn that when we sign up for it if you approve it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So,
we would have to notify the town, I mean, we would have to put the word out that, hey, this is now an option. And I would probably do a direct mailer.
yeah,
Hey, we have this. We can put it on our website, put it on the social media, word will spread. Hey, come to the office if you want this, come to the office and sign up for
yeah.
it.
Yep. Okay, so is there a motion to go with Banyan Modules to do this e-bill notification online payment?
I'll make the motion to go with Banyan Modules e-bill notification for online payments.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to go with Banyan Modules eBay notification online payment at approximately $9.95 a month. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Bringing us to the next one. Doxo Pay. It's a lot like PayGov that we're currently using. The difference is their pay link that we can put directly onto our website gives them an increased option of not only using their credit or debit card, but they can also use an ACH payment. There's no fees to us. They have an increased amount of support for us. The reports are better to use for our side of the house. This came in to us there was a citizen that signed up to use this service to pay their utility bill. It must be somebody that they used it somewhere before. So we got this deposit. I didn't know what it was. I kind of thought it was a scam, honestly. So I reached out to the company, and I've talked to them a multitude of times. They had two options. There was a more intense connect route that would end up costing us a bunch of money. But the pay link, it's free. It can go onto our website, and they can use Apple Pay. They can use all their credit cards. They can use ACH. It opens up the entire gambit of if you have a way to pay a bill, you can pay it with Doxo. So it's giving them an additional option to make those payments any way possible, and this doesn't cost us a dime. So I would just like to switch us over from PayGov to this on the website, and then there's a lot of people that have been using PayGov forever. I would just like to slowly phase that out and switch just to this, if you guys would approve it.
So will this be temporary until this other software kicks in, or will
This
this
is
exist
free.
alongside?
This could be alongside of it, and it would
Okay.
just give them
More payment
more options to pay it. And if those people don't want to, they don't want to get the e-bill, they like the paper bill, but you know, there's work, it's just more options to pay those bills. And like I said, it doesn't cost us anything to have it. I'll just need your help with the website work, getting it on there. I want to give everybody as many options as possible to pay that bill.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve Doc's own pay link.
I'll second it. Okay, there's been a motion to get Doc's OK link. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll go on to approving Curiel concrete bid for replacement of the storm drain at First Street and Iowa Street in the amount of $6,000. And it's pretty critical, right?
So this one is literally falling apart. This one was brought to us a couple months ago. We talked about when we were talking about the other ones downtown. I reached out to the same companies that bid the downtown project. This is the only one I got back.
So this is the one that's at,
This one's down kitty corner from Alcoda on First Street in
Right.
front of the old fire station.
right.
Yeah, it's
We've had-
rusted apart and falling apart.
Wasn't that many years ago that was replaced, right? Wasn't that replaced?
Not that one. That one looks like it's about as old as I am. It's in extremely rough shape.
And it's on what side of the street?
It's on the north side of the street.
By the car wash.
Yeah, on the corner of the old fire station, right before you turn north onto Iowa.
Okay. I was thinking it had been.
If it was not done very well because it's in pretty dire straits.
So this will come out of what fund? Pay it, what, street?
Either that or the BART.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, we just need they may be able to do it at the same time they're doing it.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to them
Yeah.
and see when they can get it done.
Okay, is there a motion to approve Curiel concrete bid for replacement of storm drain at First and Iowa in the amount of $6,000?
I'll make a motion to approve Curiel concrete bid for replacement of the storm drain at First Street and Iowa Street in the amount of $6,000 to come out of either the street or sale of the barn funds.
I'll second it.
There has been a motion and a second to approve Curiel concrete bid for replacement of storm drain at First Street and Iowa Street in the amount of $6,000. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And do we have any idea when they're gonna be doing that in front of the bar?
No, I asked him to coordinate that with Adam. So not knowing for sure when he would be open, I just wanted him to coordinate it with him because I knew he was gonna be doing some work on the interior. We just told him that we hoped that it would be done, we wanted it to be done this summer.
He said August 1st now?
August sometime, it's depending
August.
on his contractor,
Oh, okay,
so.
gotcha. Okay, moving on. Updates from the finance office.
You have in your packet the 2023 annual report. We had some assistance from ELO. That has been submitted to the state and accepted. I haven't presented one before, so I don't know if you guys have any questions. You can look through it. It will be published in the newspaper coming up as well. If there are any questions when you go through it, feel free to let me know. We can sit down and discuss it.
So do they really, is this the one that they usually come and talk to us?
That's the annual audit.
That's the annual audit, okay.
And it sounds like they did get that back from the state, so that should be completed from, the final version of it should be done hopefully here soon from 2022.
Okay.
And then later this month, they will be here to begin our 2023 audit with.
Yeah. And we've already budgeted that, right?
Yes, that's in the budget every year.
Yeah, because I know the costs have went up, so I just was curious. Okay. All right, so any questions on that annual report? You don't need any motions or anything?
Nope, just for you to review, and if you have any questions, if you want to discuss it, we can discuss it.
Okay. That is good to look at. We could always discuss like the next time there was a question, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the approved May warrants. We need a motion to approve the May warrants. There wasn't any questions anywhere, was there? No. I'll make a motion to approve the May warrants.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded to approve May warrants. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next one is just need your approval to open up a new bank account designated as the Pool Park Donation Fund, just like you did for the community center. As up until now, any donations that have come in for the pool or the park have been donated or deposited into the community center donation fund and earmarked as such for the pool and park. So just need approval to get that bank account open, and then we can get those funds transferred over into that. And just on a side on that, on Sunday, I'll talk about it at the end of the hearing. Never mind.
Okay, so we just needed a motion to approve opening a new bank account for the park pool donations.
I'll make a motion to approve opening a new bank account for park and pool donations.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded to approve opening a new bank account for park pool donations. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And then just a few updates for everybody. If you haven't seen, I was asked to kind of put together citywide rummage sale. So we do have that going out. Just need, if anybody is interested, just reach out to me by the 21st. And
Is there a
citywide-
fee, is there a fee for it? No, not this year.
No.
Okay.
I didn't know, how they've done it in the past.
Well, I know
And there was a
there's
lot of
controversy.
ask for it, so.
Yeah. It brings people.
Yeah.
down.
So Saturday, June 29th will be the day for the citywide rummage, and they just contact the city office to get signed up. That week, I will put out some, like the addresses and stuff. They can pick up maps at the Total Stop and at Quick Stop. And I think there was one other place that we had them at in the past. But, they'll be on our website, the Facebook page, and the Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, and the Alcester Marketplace Facebook page. So yeah, if you know anybody that wants to sign up, have them reach out to me by the 21st, please.
Okay.
And then after that, kind of Julia talked about at the beginning, the other big thing that people had asked about was getting a farmer's market started here in town. So I did some research, talked to some area farmers markets. A lot of the surrounding towns, Beersford, Canton, Hayward, and Akron, Vermillion, all do theirs on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Tuesdays seem to be an open evening that worked for a lot of people. So starting Tuesday, June 25th, at least through the end of September, weather pending, from 5 to 7 p.m. down at the city park on the south side, the grassy area. We will get started with farmers market. I did talk to the Department of Revenue about the process. There's a contract that they have to sign, and then there's a monthly report that we have to send back to the Department of Revenue of attendees to account for their sales tax. And then each person that sets up a booth is responsible to send in their sales tax stuff.
Kind of like the fair.
Yep. And then, so there's basically there's a contract that they sign, a waiver that includes a waiver of liability, them agreeing that they will abide by all South Dakota State farmers market laws and rules that govern what they can and can't sell, food types of stuff that can be sold. It's very specific on the Department of Health website of what can be sold, how it needs to be sold with food and all that stuff. It's very specific. I had a lot of people reach out, so I'm hopeful that we'll have a good showing. Right now, it sounds like for sure at least probably 7 to 10 people that will want to have a spot. So I have a few citizens around town that are kind of helping me put the word out.
So can people do it, like, they might do it every week, or at the end of the season, they want to do it, like, let's say during, when your garden is ready?
Yep.
They
Yep.
could just jump
You can
in.
come in any Tuesday you'd like. You can be there every single Tuesday of the season. If you're one that just gets like pumpkins and stuff like that comes in the fall, you can come then. It's just
Okay.
it'll either be myself or a couple other people that volunteered that every Tuesday night we'll get a list of the attendees for that specific night. And then at the end of each month, I have to send that report out to the Department of Revenue because they use that to keep track of who sends in their sales tax sheets. So
Okay.
there's that. And then last that I have is the next park revitalization meeting will be this Sunday, June 9th, here at the city office at 3 p.m. We do finally have all 4 engineering proposals for the park, for the needs assessment and master plan. So the plan is for the committee, the volunteers to review all 4 of those and choose which engineer they would like to go with. And then hopefully we can get that taken care of soon, get them hired and then get started on the work of the assessment and everything, so we can get
Get them
kickstart.
all
Yep.
rolling.
So anybody that would like to come is more than welcome. Even if you haven't been to a park meeting before, this affects the whole town. We've had a lot of good donations coming in with the anonymous donor donations that we got for the pool repairs, the difference in the cost and what we got, and the other donations that we've had. We should, depending on which engineering proposal they would choose, we'll most likely have enough donations already to cover the cost of the engineering. But we're still going to be raising money for quite some time, not just for the park, but also for the pool. This pool repairs is a 7 to 10 year Band-Aid. So we're still going to be raising money throughout this entire process for pool too, because eventually we will start working on the piece of the pool and replacing that. It's just going to cost a lot more money and take a lot more time.
Well, I
So
think Canton's up there, they
that
got
is-
a long ways to go yet, so.
and that is some confusion out there, so please, if you talk to people, let them know. Yes, the repairs were
It's just
covered,
a fit, yeah.
but we're still gonna need to be raising money for the entire park, and replacing the pool down the road.
Maybe once we have this meeting and get things in place, we should put something in the paper, don't you
Yeah,
think?
that was kind of the
So
plan.
people realize that. So,
And that's all I have, unless you have something for me.
all right, if not, anything else? Do we need an executive session tonight? Okay, if there's no executive session, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second? I'll second
I didn't want to, we're having entirely too much fun.
it. All right, all in favor to adjourn? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 7:32.
I was gonna say,